Hello everyone, today we're going to be looking at the top 10 things that drive yo-yoers out of their minds, drives them crazy. In fact, if these things weren't in the hobby, then it would be a lot more enjoyable. But yo-yoers are tough, so we persevere through these things. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with number 1 and work our way all the way up to 10. And number 10 is going to be for me, is one of the worst. So they're all bad. Number 10 beats them all in my opinion. So let's start with number 1. Number 1 happens when you're throwing your awesome tricks and you do these awesome movements, and then of course you bind the yo-yo, and then you find out, you think, something, it wasn't quite right about that throw. So you throw the yo-yo again and you look and you realize, yep, it's there. It's the knot. So at that point, it's extremely difficult to get the knot out, especially if you have your fingernails cut to the skin like I have mine. So basically, you have to just sit there and pick it, or you have to get a sewing needle or pick it. It's awful. Or, it's just the worst thing in the world sitting there picking, and you know that you only have 87 strings left. And so, especially all the ones you've got hanging on your wall, And so, it's like, I've only got a 3-day supply of strings left, and so I've got to just get this knot out. So, it's the worst thing in the world. Let's just go ahead and move on to the next one. Number 2. Number 2 happens in the summer. It's one that really happens in the summer, maybe the spring a little bit. It happens in every season depending on what environment you live in. But here in America, most likely it's going to happen in the summer. Now, I'll get right on to what it is, and that is sweaty hands during your yo-yo play. So, just picture you're throwing down your awesome speed combo and it stops working and you get this pain in your finger. And you look and you realize you have a sweaty, awful cut, and you think, what is that? Well, that is called string burn. String burn happens when you have a sweaty hand and the string is causing friction against your hands, causing it to cut into your skin, making it extremely painful. So, you're going to have to just go wash your hands with a lot of soap, basically dry them out to get them to work properly again. It's the worst. And so that is number 2, the sweaty hand. Number 3 is almost at the very top of the list for this one, and that is hitting your knuckles. So picture this. You're throwing your awesome combos, and all of a sudden, the yo-yo snags and hits your knuckles, and it hurts more than anything in the entire world, especially during 5A. I'll grab my 5A yo-yo. Right here, I've got my 5A yo-yo. That's right, stainless steel. No, not stainless steel, aluminum. Apologies. It's aluminum with a stainless steel counterweight. So, I'm not going to do any awesome tricks in front of the camera because I probably won't be able to hit them. But, you snap, you bind, and since you have to grab the yo-yo like this with your thumb and your index finger because it's 5A, you miss and you hit your knuckles, and it hurts worse than anything in the world. In fact, let's just move on to number 4. Let's get this over with. Number 4, we're getting up there. It's starting to get pretty painful, as you can tell. It was pretty painful. So this next one is painful on the inside, and that is ordering a yo-yo and getting the wrong color. So, again, picture this. You get your package in the mail. Yay! You got your brand new package. And so, it's supposed to contain a yo-yo as the rainbow color. You spent $250 on this throw, and it's got to be the right color, right? Open it up. You pop open the case, and you look, and it's, yep, the wrong color. This brings us to number 5, and this is one of the more controversial ones, and that is basically paying for shipping. Nobody likes to pay for shipping for their yo-yos. In fact, we all wish we could just go to your local Walmart or Target and pick up the latest throw from your favorite store. online store, that is. So basically, you know, you're gonna have to get on your computer and do some research on what yo-yo you want to buy next. But more likely than not, you're gonna have to pay for the shipping on that yo-yo. So, you know, let's say you want to order something very common, so everybody knows what I'm talking about, the shutter. Let's say you want to order a new shutter yo-yo. You get online and you look, and there's, you know, a shutter yo-yo for $45, and so you get on there and you look, and the shipping's going to be a whopping $15. And so you're like, huh, do I want to buy that, or do I want to go to a store, online store that might take a little bit longer to get here, but it's free shipping? So you do that, and you have that option. However, some people would rather pay $15 to get their product a few days earlier. It's just one of those things where it's a very controversial subject, and there's not really any videos that I can do to show you, and I talk in the background about how this really works. It's just, you've got your opinion on shipping. I have my opinion on shipping, and it probably drives you crazy, whatever your opinion is, because it drives me crazy. That's number 5, paying for shipping. Now, moving on to number 6. This is one that's, we're getting pretty high up there. This is a pretty bad one. It's when you got your awesome yo-yo, yay, and you throw it down, and you know, you're doing like your awesome tricks, your awesome string tricks, unresponsive yo-yo, by the way, and it, all of a sudden, you jump it up and it comes back and responsive, and you didn't bind. All you did was just hop it up and it comes back, and you do it, and it just keeps coming back, and like, it's an unresponsive yo-yo. It's supposed to play unresponsive, and it does play unresponsive, but you want to do like your hook, and it just comes back. It's awful. Every yo-yoer probably has to deal with this. It's just, when it comes back, you know you're going to have to clean your bearing. You may have over-lubed it. It's just, it's awful. So moving on, let's go to number 7. Number 7 is a really tough one. So basically, this is one that I'm just going to have to do independently from my commentary. Please watch this. Let's go! I just got my brand new Cannon yo-yos in the mail. Now I can be just like my 3A heroes and learn how to yo-yo with metal, 3A yo-yo with metal yo-yos. And look at that. They even came with the string on them. How about that? Let's see, alrighty. Right hand, put that on. Pop the case open on this one. Brand new. A grade. Let's go. Alrighty, I'm going to try a trick that one of my favorite players does. It's called Koro Koro. Yeah, the land of trapeze here. And then we stick this right in there. And we do it. And... oh, that didn't sound good. Oh no. Not one scratch, not 2 scratches, but 150 scratches. The yo-yo is no longer brand new. Yes, that is number 7. Dinging your yo-yo. More likely than not, it's probably going to be in 3A. This next one is number 8. This is one that isn't really going to drive you crazy, more than it's just a frustrating thing that yo-yoers are probably going to have to deal with at some point in their yo-yo career. And that is priority decision fatigue is what I call it. So, you know, you're on your tablet and you're looking up stuff, and you look and you realize that your favorite video game is doing an awesome online event. And it's over a weekend and you're like, whoa, let's go. You're super excited. And then you look at the date and you realize that that's the same weekend that you were supposed to perform at a birthday party. And you were going to do your off-string yo-yo routine, and it was just going to be absolutely awesome. And now you have to decide, do I want to play this online event, or do I want to go to the birthday party and do the off-string yo-yo? So really, it's going to all come down to one thing, because if you're a yo-yoer, yo-yo's your priority. You're going to have to just do this. So yep, it's time. Throw away your console. Number 9 happens when you have your favorite metal yo-yo and you're throwing it down, you're doing your tricks, and all of a sudden the yo-yo starts making this noise. And you're like, why is it making this noise? It never made this noise before. It has to be the bearing. And you would be right. Your bearing probably has too much of that black gunk that you have to get out. So then, of course, you bind the yo-yo. It's all fine. And it plays fine. Doesn't even play responsive. Sometimes it does. But it just makes that noise that just drives you crazy. It's like a grainy, sandy noise. And it just is too much to handle. You have to clean your bearing to get that noise out, lube it, all that stuff. And that noise just drives you out of your mind. So that's number 9, just loud yo-yos. Now, moving on to number 10. This is the final one. This is one that is going to make you just about want to just bawl. It's awful. It's awful just thinking about it. And that is, you're doing all your awesome tricks. You're doing all your awesome tricks, the day before. And then, you go to bed. You wake up the next morning. You get up. And you get the yo-yo on your hand. You can't even land a trapeze. You can't even land a double trapeze. You can't even land a triple trapeze. So, what about a hook? Can you land a hook? No. You can't hit any of your tricks. You try your speed combo. It goes flying. It's the worst thing in the world. It's called the off day, where you have a day where you can't hit any of your tricks. It's awful. So then you think, I'll just try another style. You try two-way. Guess what? You try looping two-way, like I said just a minute ago. You try looping. Doesn't work. You can't loop. You just loop and it hits you in the head, or it goes into around the world when you're trying to do your two-handed looping, or you're doing around the world and it snags and hits your knuckles. It's awful. Then you try doing 3A. Guess what happens? They're going to knock into each other because you don't have the right skill. Then you try 4A. What's the 4A yo-yo going to do? Roll down the hallway and hit somebody. And then, of course, 5A is even worse, because if you're on an off day and you try 5A, guess what's going to happen? You're doing your tricks. It goes flying, and what's it going to hit? What's it going to hit? The window. And it's going to go through the window, and then you have to pay for the window, and you may never be able to yo-yo again as long as you live in this household. It's the worst thing in the world. It's called the off day. It's where you can't hit any of your tricks, and like your hands start getting sweaty because you can't hit them. And then you get knots, and like it honestly just causes all the rest of the trick, all the other things on this list to just come to pass. It's just that one day where you just need to maybe cancel that birthday party and just stay home and just get your Switch out of your trash can and just play that online event. Okay, that's the entire list. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more, and I hope that you were able to relate with some of these problems, and we will see you next time.